A WWE Star mocks CM Punk with an AEW Botch. Plus, we have an update on multiple WWE Stars contracts. And Bryan Danielson teases an AEW All In dream match. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Dominic Mysterio, to quote Jack the Jobber, has been a very cheeky boy.
Oh, he's been a little cheeky man, hasn't he? He's mocked CM Punk, Tom, on the social media.
Why would you do that?
Well,
what are you thinking?
I was going to actually answer the question. Well, I know, first of all, that's a very dicey game to play. But secondly, it could be because they're scheduled to have CM Punk's first in-ring match back in WWE it's the Madison Square Garden house show.
So they're wrestling twice over Crimbo Limbo. They're doing the 26th of December at Madison Square Garden, and then they're doing the Kia Forum in LA a couple of days later. So those are Punk's first matches back. Punk was doing comms for CFFC, and he was promoting the match saying, I've been wanting to punch that kid since he was 8 years old. and it's true.
It's a good throwback to that storyline.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio tweeted a Fightful post sharing this soundbite that CM Punk said on that commentary gig, and said, and basically Dom included a gif of CM Punk botching a springboard clothesline in AEW with the caption, "Punch me like this, please." Oh, Dom.
It was a 6-man tag, I believe, from Collision when Punk gets tagged in and he jumped onto the rope. It looks like he's going to do his old springboard clothesline, and he just sort of stumbles into the ring, and they kind of salvage it. But it looks messy. But there's Dominic Mysterio acknowledging AEW there.
Yeah, I guess so. That's actually
not many have done that.
I think that, I mean, I'm assuming that CM Punk and Dominic Mysterio get on well. But that's just, I don't know that for a fact. And whenever anybody takes a shot at CM Punk now on social media, I get scared. I'm like, what's going to happen? What's he going to do? Oh, no.
I get nervous. I feel like Punk, like with the greatest will in the world, Punk's able to dish it out. I don't know whether he can always take it.
Oh, come on now.
A little bit. Unless you run it by him, I think he's fine.
Yeah, maybe. He's known Dom since he was a kid. Maybe it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's
been interesting, isn't it, how Seth Rollins has been channeling Hangman Page quite a bit in the last week or so.
I'll defend you.
I'll protect WWE from you. And then last night on Raw to Drew McIntyre saying, "I pity you." You know, which is that line that Hangman Page said to CM Punk, and I think that's kind of part of his routine now, that he's kind of channeling that. I think obviously running it all by everybody first to make sure everyone's happy with it. And I imagine the Dominic thing is all above board, and that's a nice match for Punk to have back, because Dominic is just I think we've talked about it many times, but I stand by it. I remember we'd been sat at this table, you and I, going, I don't know if Dom's got this wrestling thing, you know?
Oh, he is
so true.
He's come on absolute leaps and bounds. Could he be in with a shout for the most improved wrestler in our Culty Awards? Stay tuned to the channel in the next couple of weeks for that. It'll be the podcast closest to Christmas, I believe.
WWE seem to think that he is most improved because it's been revealed by Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, that Dominic Mysterio has signed a multi-year contract extension. Yes. So Dom is sticking around.
But also some sad news for Rey Mysterio. He's currently out with a knee injury, but some good news for Rey Mysterio because he has also signed a brand new WWE contract.
The Mysterios are sticking around.
Yes. Get well soon. We knew about the knee injury, riding Rey off for a little bit. Hopefully he's back soon. And it's nice to see them both sticking around.
And because I think that the story has to end with those two again. They have to find each other one more time.
Yeah, you'd think that Rey would be keen to give Dom his win back, surely.
Yes. Yeah. That'll probably be how... And I think Rey's always been very upfront about that's how kind of he wants to wrap up his time. He wants to
make sense,
hand over to Dom, really. So I think that we'll get back there. But there's a few other WWE contracts that are due, that are expiring early next year that we still don't have any new updates on, like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, apparently all with contracts due early part of next year. But we can confirm that both Dominic and Rey Mysterio have had meetings. They've signed new deals. They're sticking around a little longer.
Speaking of next year, the first edition of Monday Night Raw of 2024 is going to be Day 1. So Day 1's returning not as a premium live event, but as a special edition of Monday Night Raw.
And this passed me by, right? But the first SmackDown of 2024 is called New Year's Revolution.
And that's week really a pay-per-view now.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good, to be fair.
And then you've got NXT New Year's Evil the same week.
But New Year's Revolution, I just immediately associate with the pay-per-view. I mean, I guess there's been other instances of this happening. No Mercy and stuff as well in the past. Starcade, they turn into a house show.
Yeah. And day one was a pay-per-view as well. So they're leaning back into that. But the January 1st episode of Raw will be the first one they're back from for Christmas holiday with, and Rhea Ripley defends the Women's World title on that show against Ivy Nile.
Yes, Ivy Nile basically stepped up to challenge Rhea Ripley because she beat up her friend, Maxine Dupree, and beat her in a match as well.
Yeah.
Ivy Nile said, right, I'll have a match against you then, and that has been added to the show, but there's other matches confirmed as well, Tom.
Becky Lynch and Nia Jax going one-on-one after an altercation they had last night on Raw. Good luck, Becky. Natalia and Tegan Nox facing Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. That's a top contenders match. See who will face Casey and the Sunshine Band on a future episode of Raw.
Casey and Caden, the new Women's Tag Team Champions.
Nah.
Yeah.
They won't give it up.
Oh, you think they're going to
won't
retain?
give it up?
Well,
No,
fair
they
enough.
retain, of course they will.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins defends the world title against Drew McIntyre, providing Seth Rollins' face has been recovered from the steel steps after Drew did that whoopang to Seth on Raw last night.
It's like an Alabama Slam, but not, isn't it? It's like a reversed one.
They've always referred to it as an Alabama Slam, but surely it's an Ayrshire Slam.
An Ayrshire Slam,
Because he's from Ayr.
Yes.
Would make sense. Also last night on Raw, Aiden told me this as I was coming downstairs, Cody Rhodes gave a family in the front row a Christmas tree.
Oh, what's he like?
There you go. And it's a lovely idea, but that's surely a logistical nightmare. Cheers, Cody. We came on the bus.
Yeah.
It's a lovely thought. We've just got to get this home now.
How Ross has got me worried about Cody Rhodes because I think me and Ross both agree that it's looking like Cody may well be the one to again challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And we'd all assume if that was the case, that Cody Rhodes would surely this time win and Roman Reigns would be dethroned finally. But Ross has pointed out that not too long after WrestleMania, if Roman kept the belts, he would then eclipse Hogan's modern era record. And that seems like something Triple H would be very interested in overwriting, I suppose.
That is something that very much sits in my head, and I'm very concerned about.
Oh dear!
I don't think they're finishing the story. I don't think they're finishing the story, mate.
Okay.
And I'm sure. Apparently, they've known since September what they're doing for Mania, and they haven't changed their minds. But they're not. It's very close quarters as to who is being told what. I don't know if they're finishing the story.
I hope they finish the story.
Oh my God. Story. It is a story to be told, as is WWE's Golden Age. It is our most ambitious documentary ever as part of Doc-Sember here at Cultaholic Wrestling. Part 3 went out on Sunday. We'd like to thank once again Justin Henry, our phenomenal writer from the States, Matt Stewart, and Sam Driver on the edit, and Sam Driver on the voice as well.
Yes.
A fantastic piece of business. And I'm a wrestling fan of a certain vintage, as we all know, Jack, but I learned stuff about WWF that I didn't know in watching this.
It's been a fantastic documentary. This is part 3 that's gone out on the channel. There is a 4th part, I believe, yet to come as well. And thanks to everybody for watching it so far and for the very positive feedback it seems to have received as well.
And if you want us to make more stuff like that, support us at patreon.com/Cultaholic, and we'd love to. If they're popular and they do well, then we'll make more.
Absolutely.
That's how the world works. This works for me. AEW All In 2024 in Wembley. Mate, they're teasing us again with a dream match for Bryan Danielson.
They are. So last year, there was a tease of this match, which ended up not happening because Bryan Danielson, unfortunately, was injured. So we never found out whether it actually was going to come to fruition or not. It's always just remained a mystery. Bryan Danielson has started speculation all over again in an interview with Mail Online and was asked about a potential match with his old foe, Nigel McGuinness.
Now, Nigel on Twitter just before Wembley did share a photo in his hotel room in his ring gear, which made us think, actually, he is ready to go.
He was in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
He looked amazing. It seemed as though ring gear had been made for him, and it seemed like he was. It reminded me of when Shawn Michaels came out at WrestleMania 32 to fight off the League of Nations and was in incredible shape because I think he thought maybe he'd be wrestling a match. That was the rumor, and he just got himself in ridiculous condition and then just had to do like a super kick. but he came out with that with his top on because he thought, well, I've done this now. I'm going to go out there in my ring gear.
Yeah, and that was basically what happened. And maybe something similar has happened here. But in regards to a match Bryan Danielson told Mail Online, maybe one day I can get a rematch with Nigel McGuinness at Wembley. I know Nigel was really big on it last year, but I, at the time, wasn't sure if he could hang with me. Now, he has worked his arse off and got himself in great shape. Since then, my health has a little bit deteriorated. So now I see that as a real possibility.
Oh my God.
He and I had some incredible matches that comparatively few people saw. When you talk about things like matches we had in 2006 through to 2009, the internet wasn't what it is today. Our generation has such a nostalgia for Wembley, and especially UK wrestlers, especially Nigel. He has talked about the SummerSlam in 1992. As an American, never even thought I'd see Britain, but I've just marveled at this thing when it comes to Wembley. And I think if Bryan's in good form come August, we get Danielson McGuinness.
They've got to
but
do
tell
it.
us a story to get us there. I beg you, don't just go. It's happening.
I think,
Tell us a story.
given the tone of Bryan's words here about Nigel McGuinness, even if there wasn't a hard and fast set of steps set in place to create a storyline, I don't think either man will be able to resist adding a bit of spice to the equation. Because they've always maintained, McGuinness on commentary, Bryan in interviews such as this, they've always maintained this hatred for each other, or this dislike at least, which is obviously a little Easter egg for fans who remember their Ring of Honor feud. And I don't think they'd be able to resist at least creating some semblance of a story if that match was to take place. I really hope it does.
That's in 2024. AEW's final steps of 2023 lead to World's End, the last Saturday of the year. Live reactions with myself and Adam Pacitti. What happened with Jack as well. Cheers, Tony, for doing a pay-per-view in the last weekend of the year. Didn't want a holiday during the festive period anyway, mate.
I'm looking at it with a positive spin.
I'm trying, mate,
Because
but I was looking forward to a weekend off before Christmas. But after Christmas, rather.
Well, that's the thing. It's on the 30th, so that means that I'm looking at it, at least my body clock will be ready for then staying up for the New Year's Eve festivities the day after.
That's very true.
There we go.
That's very true. Nice positive spin. And all the wrestling news you can find spinning at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.
Spin.